Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will be working on this clamp plate project. I want to get a little more orthographic projections with circles going, so like that we could just practice on it. So just follow along, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch up my layer properties a little bit. Usually I do my construction in green, uh, and then my objects in white. I just decided to switch it just to see how that works out. Okay, I'm gonna keep my hidden blue, uh, dimensions yellow, and center lines red. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually copy this image and I'm going to paste it right there. Make it a little big. All right. Now I know it's small, but yeah. So if you guys want to do that, all you have to do is just copy the image and then paste it right there. So I'm gonna get into working on this, right? So first off, before anything, let's discuss what our height, width, and depth is. Okay. So our height is going to be 5 1/4, which in fraction, I'm sorry, in decimal turns into 5.25. Our width is going to be over here, which is 4 5/8, which translates to 4.625. Our depth translates to 1 5/8, which in decimal is 1.625. Okay. So if you even want to do that, write this down. Hold on. Um, let's go into our text. Let's type in right here. Um, I'm going to put height 5.25 inches. Make sure we're using our line of measure. Width is going to be 4.625 inches. Depth is going to be 1.625 inches. Okay. My space, I'm going to work with I'll do 3 inches, 3 inch space. Now remember, you guys are familiar enough to work on choosing your own space. Just make sure it's between 1 and 3 inches, okay? So I'm going to click that. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Sorry. Let me edit this. That's kind of bigger. All right. Actually, no, I'm going to make this one. There we go. All right, so now that I have it like this, I'm gonna get to work. So I'm gonna do my construction lines, right? I'm gonna do X line. That's the first command. I'm gonna turn on my ortho. Shame on me, it's not turned on. Now I'm gonna start offsetting. Okay. So I'm gonna offset my vertical line first. Okay. My vertical line goes with space depth. Remember that. That is very important. So I'm gonna offset. I'm going to go by the width. The width is 4.625. Space is going to be 3. Depth is 1.625. Okay. Always remember we're dealing with our measure, unit of measure, which here is going to be inches. Okay. Now I'm going to offset the horizontal line. So I'm going to offset by the height, space, and depth. So the height is 5.25, okay? Space is going to be 3, and then my depth is going to be 1.625, okay? Now remember, this is our top view, our front view, and our side view, okay? I'm also going to do X line again because I want to get the 45-degree line of projection, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim now. Trim these two. Okay. I'm going to move this over. You don't have to worry about it. I just don't like that it's too small. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in right about here, right? So this is what we got going on. I'm actually going to zoom into the work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my object layer property and I'm going to trace these out, okay? So I'm going to trace out the top box or the top view, the front view, and the right or side view, okay? Now, I'm going to focus on the top view, okay? I'm going to zoom in, right? So we have a couple of changes of depths. If we look at our drawing, right? So if we're looking at our top view, we are looking at it, actually, yeah, let me not do it here, okay? Because I don't think you guys can see. I'm going to drag this over. We're looking at our top view. We're going to be able to see this side right here, this top portion, this portion right here, because it sticks out farther than this right here. Give me 1 second. Yep. So if we look right here, this is 11/16, and this is 1.625. So if I bring out my calculator, I'm going to do 11 divided by 16 because I don't know that by heart. So 0.6875. So now 1.625 minus 0.6875 means that this sticks out 0.9375, and then this sticks out from the edge a little farther, or this is back 7/16, right? So this is 0.9375 away from this edge, and then this is 7/16 away from this edge. So what I'm going to do is do 7 divided by 16 minus 1.625, and you'll see that this covers over this, okay? So give me 1 second, I'll go back to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this line right here, okay? I'm going to go like this. I'm going to show you guys a trick. So to input fractions, all you have to do is type it out. So you do 11 backslash 16. Now, I didn't want to show you guys this earlier in the school year because I didn't want you guys to get comfortable with it. So that is 11/16, right? Now, again, we're going to do 11/16 divided by 16 minus 1.625. We're going to get 0.9375. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this right here by 0.9375. Right? Now, what you're going to notice is that that is going to give you this line right here. So I just wanted to show you how it comes into comparison with the edge. But what we're going to do is we're going to offset this line backwards by 7 divided by 16, okay? And then I'm going to change this line to a hidden line, okay? So I'm going to click this line, And this line is going to be hidden because that is just below, right here. This line is being covered by this portion right here. But we had to make sure we show that, okay? We also had to make sure we get our circles going. So, well, not necessarily our circles going, but we had to make sure they are projected, okay? So if we go back over to the drawing, right, I'm gonna cover it here, okay? So if you take a look at this circle is 1.25 inches away from the edge. This circle is 2 1/8 from this point right here. And you notice this goes by the center point, okay? Now, this is also 1 5/16 up from here, but we don't have to worry about that in this view, okay? So don't worry about that. The holes are also 13/16. So to do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna offset one second. Now, just to let you know, also ideally, I would offset this line up by 7 divided by 16ths. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to cover the hidden line. I want you guys to see that, okay? But what I'm going to do for the circles is I'm going to offset this line right here by 1.25 and this line right here by 2.125. Now, you can do it with the fraction. If it's a mixed fraction, you can do it. I personally don't like to do it. That's that right there. Now, we have to do is we have to divide 13 divided by 16 because that's a diameter. So it becomes 0.8125. Now we're going to divide that by 2 because we got to find the radius. So we have to offset this line right here by 0.40625. I don't know what that is in fraction. It's probably a 32nd. So 0.40625, 0.40625, and do the same thing here. 0.40625, 0.40625, okay? Now, I'm gonna do something else a little different. I'm just gonna trace this with the hidden lines real quick, just because I wanna make sure I'm working on the top view. Sorry, I messed up. So, the holes are only on this section right here, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go to line, and I'm gonna trace it right here, okay? That's where it's supposed to be traced. And I'm gonna go here, and here, and here, and here, okay? Now I'm gonna go to my center layer property. I'm gonna go to annotate, and do a center line. I'm gonna do a center line right here, and I'm gonna do a center line right here, okay? That's how we know we have a circle that's going through, all right? So we have our circle right here, which is delegated by the center line, hidden line, and then we have a hidden line right here, okay? So we can proceed. So let's work on the top, on the front view, okay? So the front view is gonna be a little different, right? We have to do those circles, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do home. I'm gonna offset. So I'm gonna offset this construction line right here. So what I do is I go there, and my first offset is going to be, actually I'm gonna start from the bottom, okay? My first offset is gonna be up and a ½ inch. So 1 divided by 2, or you could do 0.5. That works as well, right? Now I'm gonna go from here. This is 1 11/16. So what you do is you do 11 divided by 16 plus 1, and you get 1.6875. So I'm going to offset this by 1.6875. Okay? Then what we have to do is we have to do a little math because they don't necessarily give us this dimension right here, right? But they give us this right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is that length, right? Let me go back to it. From here to here is 2 and 11/16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract a half inch and 1 and 11/16 from this, or you can add it, okay? So we know 1 and 11/16 is 0.16875. I'm going to add 0.5, right? 2.1875. Okay. Now I know 11/16 is 0.6875. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I subtract that. Okay. So 1 second. My keyboard. So we have 2 and 11/16, right? Subtracted 1 and 11/16, and we're going to subtract 0.5 or 1/2, okay? So again, we know this is 1.6875, and what I'll even do is I'll even do it all together, okay? So 11 divided by 16 is 0.6875 plus 2, 2.6875, right? I'm going to subtract 1.6875. We get 1 minus 0.5. We get that as 0.5, okay? So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to offset this line, sorry, by 0.5. I'll do 1 divided by 2, just to keep it the same motion. Now you can also do 2 and 11/16 offset from here. That works as well, okay? Now, I'm going to offset this line by 1 and 5/16. Reason being is because that is the center point of the circle, okay? So 5 divided by 16 is 0.3125 plus 1, right? So 1.3125. That's what we're going to offset by. 1. Let me see if this works, okay? 5/16, or I think it's 1. Yeah, that works. So all you have to do for a mixed fraction is basically type it in 1-5 divided by 16, okay? And that's how you get that. So, but if we also do decimal points, 1.3125, okay? Same thing, all right? Now, we don't have to worry about our circles because we already know where it's going to be based off this right here, okay? So I know my circle is going to be right here. This is going to be some point in my circles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tracing. So what I do is I go to object, I go to line, I'm going to trace right here. There you go. And then I'm going to do another line, trace right here. And I'm going to do another line, trace right, oh, I didn't do that properly. There we go. Right there. Now I'm going to do my circle. So make sure you are in diameter, okay? I know this is going to be the center point of my circle. So what I do is do 13 divided by 16. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. 13 divided by 16. Oh, sorry. 13 divided by 16, right? Now, I'm going to offset this line right here by the radius. So again, 13 divided by 16, 0.8125 divided by 2, 0.40625. So I'm going to go up 0.40625, and I'm going to go down 0.40625, and that's going to give me my circles for right here, okay? Now, we do not have to put any hidden lines on this side, but we have to get a center line going, okay? We have our change of depths, which is like going to be right here, right here. That's all listed, okay? So I'm going to annotate. I'm going to do center mark right there and right there, okay? Now, I'm going to do my right side view, okay? So I'm going to offset this line right here by 11/16, okay? That's the thickness of this portion. So I'm going to do 11 divided by 16, okay? This comes out to the full length from right here. And then I'm going to offset this line by 7 divided by 16, okay? So now I'm going to start tracing. Let me change my layer property. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here, right here, right there, right there. Sorry. This is 7/16, okay? Sorry. 1 5/8 goes up ½ inch, goes back 7/16. Yes, okay. That makes sense. Right? And then right here. Okay? So now we have to trim. So I'm going to trim right here. I'm going to turn off my construction layer property, make it easier to trim. Right there, right there, and right there. Okay? So that's that. I'm going to turn on my construction layer properties again. Now I'm going to go into my hidden layer property, and I'm going to go here to here, here to here. Then I'm going to go to my center layer property, annotate, and then I'm going to do my center line right here. And that's that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, turn off my construction layer property, and that is that, all right? Now, I want you guys to get the isometric drawing going. I have a bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on it as a part 2, okay? Now, I also want you guys to dimension this. Make sure you guys dimension it just like what's shown. Take care.